Good morning, people. Like my earrings? I've made a decision because we have to, if you intend on voting in a primary. You're either a registered Republican or you're a registered Democrat. You have to, in order to vote in the primary elections, to decide who's going to run for what, you basically have to be one of those. Now, you could be an independent, but you have to vote for one of those. That's the way our system is set up. But I want to let you know right now, I'm not a true Republican. Because I've had a belly full of the rhinos in Washington. I'm not a Democrat at all by any definition, by anything of the word. Am I a Democrat? I don't believe in what they stand for. I don't believe in everything they're doing right now. I'm not a Democrat. So that just leaves me an American just like the rest of you. I'm not anybody. I'm a nobody. Just a nobody that's had a belly full of what our government is doing to our country. When the rights of someone that shows no effort to work, and before I get started, this has absolutely nothing to do with race, so don't even go there. I'm talking about when they tax middle America to the point of making you ask, what's the point? To give it to somebody else is wrong. That is not what our government was set up to do. That is not what our founding fathers had in mind. Our family fathers gave you the right to pursue happiness and a way of life in the United States. That's what people in the Revolutionary War fought to give you. They fought to give you representation. They worked for 3 years on our Constitution to give you the right to vote for someone from your area to go to Washington and represent you. It appears, and it's not just this election, it's been going on. The first I remember of it going on was back in the 70s. That's the first time I really become aware of it. I was old enough to be aware. Somehow or another, it has gotten to the point when we send someone to Washington, they forget where they're from. They forget who sent them there. And they begin drinking the Kool-Aid up there and doing whatever they want. There is a problem. And y'all want to go on about term limits. And I'll agree there needs to be some term limits, but I don't fight it, because if you think the fox is going to lock the door of the hen house, you're crazy. But the reason why they do what they do is because they know they can get away with it. If you speak out, they are going to attack you with such a viciousness till you'll go over there, sit down, and shut up. They did the exact same thing to Gary Hart. They didn't want Gary Hart running. So what'd they do? They exposed him. He tucked his tail and ran and hid. They've done it to several. They tried every way in the world to blackmail, to intimidate, to whatever Donald Trump. And that right there, whether you like him or not, is irrelevant. That right there is why I voted for him. Not once, but twice. Do I like his mouth? No. Do I like him personally? Probably not. But he was an establishment, which is why I voted for him. And it has been probably 100 years since there was an election that upset Washington like Trump winning. No one knew he would win. No one no one gave him a snowball's chance against Hillary Clinton. He wasn't supposed to win. Hillary said that with her mouth. Every news station across the United States said Trump wasn't going to win. Well, they underestimated him. They underestimated the amount of people in the United States that was tired of his bull, tired of Washington's bull, and they wanted something different. So for the next 4 years, and I don't believe it was just Democrats. I don't. Because Republicans held the House and the Senate the first 2 years, and they did absolutely nothing but fight Trump on everything. So to blame it all on the Democrats is that's not right, because Republicans don't like him in Washington any more than Democrats do. The only people wanted him in Washington was 76 million people that voted for him. But you got to hand it to them. They knew what they were doing, because for 4 years they laid a plan and worked and laid a plan and worked to get him out of office. And it worked. It worked. While y'all want to lay it off on voter fraud, and I'm not saying there wasn't, but I don't think that's why he lost the election. For the last 4 years, if you spoke out against any Democrat or anybody in the system, you were attacked, you were called a racist, you were called a bigot, you may have your house burned, your business burned, you were just viciously attacked. They went after you with a viciousness. And majority of the American people stopped speaking out because they don't want to be called a racist. Nobody wants to be called a racist. It's one of the ugliest things you could call someone. But the use of the term has been used so much in the last 4 years that it has cheapened the term. It has made real racism explode. It's made people that speak out against it think twice, because I don't want to be labeled that. And let me just put it to you this way. Once social media has decided you're a racist, there is absolutely nothing you can do to show you're not. Nothing. If they have labeled you a bigot, that's what you are, and there's nothing you can do, because somebody somewhere will carry it on. They'll keep it going, and they'll keep you silenced. If what I just described to you does not bother you, this video is not for you. But the American people, the good, hardworking American people, and I'm not just talking about people that voted for Trump. I'm talking about the good, hardworking American people, that they're not on the news. They're not out running their mouth. They're just quiet people going about their day. Get up, go to work, come home, pay their bills, and are working at a living. These people don't have any representation in Washington right now. And my representation in Washington is Senator Ted Cruz and why is his name escaping me? That is one part of the lasting things of a stroke that just really drive me nuts, is my inability to remember names. And my congressman. They've forgotten who they represent. They have forgotten who voted for them. They have forgotten. That's why Trump won in 2016. That's why the same amount of people voted for him this time that voted for him last time. The only difference is the establishment also for 4 years worked to get people to vote for their candidate. This one scares me. President-elect Biden scares me. I just don't see how anybody, of all the Democrats that could have been put into office, why they chose Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is beyond me. She defies every moral code that a woman should hold dear. For every woman that got to the place they are in politics or the place they are in a business or the corporate world, and they did it the right way with some integrity, Kamala Harris defies every bit of that. She got to where she is on her knees. And that's not hearsay at all. Joe Biden is the very definition of a bigot. The things he has said. But they pass that off. Why? Why? Why is it okay, the things that Hillary Clinton said in the 70s and 80s and Joe Biden said in the 80s? Why is that okay? Why is that being swept under the rug? Both of those people are as... Even Kamala Harris, the things in her career that she has done to minorities, why would you put those two people in office? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. In the words of my mother, I think I just rambled a lot this morning. I don't think I really had a point. My only point I'm making is, when I say what I say, I'm not saying what I'm saying to defend or be for a Republican or a Democrat. I'm an American. To the deepest part of my bones, I'm an American. I think we live in the greatest country on earth. I think American people are some of the most giving, forgiving people on the face of the earth. And I think our country's being taken from us one little stroke at a time. And it goes back to that old adage of boiling a frog alive. If you put a frog in a pot of water with just cool water, he's going to be happy as a clam. He's going to swim around. If you throw him in a pot of boiling water, your chance of when he hits it of jumping right back out. But you can slowly turn the water up under that frog and he will never jump out. You will kill him by just slowly increasing the temperature of the water. Did you know a human can do the same thing? You can do the same thing. Just slowly, slowly, slowly. Don't do anything rash. And I think that's where President Trump's downfall was. He's so in your face. Gonna do this, gonna do this, gonna do this. So in your face. Gonna change the system. Well, the system didn't want to be changed in Washington. My question I want to leave you with today is, what are you going to do today? What are you going to do today? Who are you going to call today? Who are you going to write a letter to today? Who are you going to speak out to today to let our government know your actions are unacceptable? Y'all go have a great day. Make the surroundings where you are a better place. Smile. Makes people wonder what you're up to. Love y'all.